What is up, YouTube? Riley White here, back with another MLB The Show 19 video for you guys. And in today's video, we have a huge gameplay that I had actually. This was before the new ranked seasons came out. This was one of my last few games before I made it to World Series. We have Nolan Ryan on the bump. I forget what rating I was exactly when I went into this game. We were facing off against Hal Newhazard, and as you guys could probably see by the title, this was a very big gameplay. I was able to strike out 20 different batters with Nolan Ryan. I'm just going to be showing all the different strikes and whatnot that I had in this game. So far, Nolan Ryan, honestly, I mean, if you guys get the chance to pick him up, go ahead and do that. He is an amazing card. I really enjoyed pitching with him so far. I mean, the only problem with him is probably his walks per nine. I personally don't like a lot of pitchers that have low walks per nine and low control. But Nolan Ryan, I mean, last year when I got Nolan Ryan, that was the biggest. That was kind of like the thing I was scared about, just because. I mean, I like to be able to have control. I don't want to walk a lot of people. I don't want to get people on base. I found I get stressed out when someone's on base, depending on who's up to the bat. So usually I don't really like picking up people that have low control, but last year I pitched really well with Nolan Ryan, and it seems to so far being carried over to this game. I've pitched like 6 games with Nolan Ryan. He was actually the pitcher that I had when I made it to World Series. Unfortunately, I was not able to save that gameplay. I wish I had of, but I'll just tell you guys kind of really what happened in that gameplay where I made it to World Series in the first season. It was a pretty close game. I mean, the whole entire game, I was going against a guy that was already a World Series player. He had Vita Blue on the mound. I had Nolan Ryan, like I said. He had players like Mike Trout. He had Kenny Lofton, Pudge. He had a couple other really good cards, and Nolan Ryan just completely shut him down, threw a complete game shutout against the guy, and I think it was like the 6th or 7th inning. I hit a 2-run home run with Justin Turner to take a 2-0 lead, and in the end of the game, I was able to win it. I mean, I really, those last couple games, I pitched so well against the players that I was facing. And I really think Nolan Ryan has to be a big player to credit those wins to. He came in clutch really good for me. Him and Justin Turner were kind of like MVPs, World Series MVPs for me, really. But yeah, as you guys can tell already, we are in the 4th inning against this guy. I'm not quite sure how many strikeouts we have already. I believe that might have been number, I'm not even sure. I couldn't really tell right there as it went pretty quick. But this guy was not hitting a lot. This guy was not hitting the 4-seamer. He was late in the 4-seamer. He was late he was really early on the circle change. I didn't throw many sinkers, but when I did, he was kind of late on them. It was mainly just a 4-seamer circle change kind of show. That's kind of what I really try to base Nolan Ryan with. I do throw some sinkers here and there, as I just did there, and I do throw some 12-6 curveballs here and there as well. But it's pretty much fastball circle change. That's what I like to do, especially high up in high up in the rank. Whereas he makes opponents' PCI very small, so it's very easy to strike out people, or I find it is at least. I find pitching is kind of what my strong suit is. I've always been a good pitcher. I mean, a lot of people don't really like people that use meter. They kind of think it's kind of shitty compared to pure analog. But I personally pitch a lot better with meter than I do with anything else. I've always pitched with meter. I've always felt like my pitching has been the reason I've stayed in games. As you guys can see, it's only a 1-0 game in the 6th inning. Usually any other game, if my pitching's just not on, or if I wasn't a good pitcher like I say I am, then usually those games, like I would lose this type of game where I'm only up 1-0 in the 6th. I mean, this guy may not be the greatest player for like an 800-some rating, but I mean, he's got a pretty good team. He's got Duke Snider, he's got Bryce Harper, he's got like Dante Bichette, he's got a couple other good cards as well. Like, I mean, he definitely doesn't have a slump of a team, and if he made it to this high in rating, then he's not that bad of a player. I think I was just able to shut him down on the pitching side of things. Maybe not my offense. My offense wasn't the greatest thing, but as you see, we got Duke Snider swinging out a circle change there. I made him look silly on a couple of these. You guys might have seen already. Yeah, he was just late on the 4-seamer the entire game, and I mean, Nolan Ryan, I'm not quite sure who I feel more confident pitching with, him or Kershaw. So far, I really feel it's between them two. I mean, Madison Bumgarner's alright, but there's been a couple games where I haven't pitched amazing with Bumgarner, and the one time I faced him, I actually hit I had 8 runs off of him, so I'm not really quite sure what to think of him yet. I still do enjoy pitching with him. I'm glad I took him over Miggy and Vlad, but still, the fact that I've only pitched a couple games with him, I feel like I don't think there's been a game. Actually, I think I did throw one complete game shutout with him, one game, but other than that, every other game I've given up at least 1 run with him. As you guys can see, I am up 2-0 now in the 8th inning. There was a couple. I think there was like a lag spike here. I'm not quite sure if it was right here or not. Maybe it already went by. I'm not quite sure. I can't remember. But we started striking him out a lot. This guy actually, like, he was able to foul off quite a few pitches, and he watched a lot of pitches that were outside the zone. So that's why my pitch count is at 124 in the 8th inning. But I mean, I was up 2-0. I just wanted to keep going, see if I could get this complete game shutout. And Nolan Ryan was definitely dealing for me as we get a borderline call right there. I think that was my 16th strikeout right there. I'm pretty sure we do strike out the final 4 batters of the game, if I'm not mistaken. 130 pitches. I mean, yeah, right there. That was the lag spike. The ball should not have went where it did, but we got him looking. Here we are on the top of the 9th now, towards the end of the game, as Bryce Harper fouls off the first pitch of the at-bat, I believe, or maybe the second. Yeah, the first pitch. Still, like, I mean, he's still dealing, man. I was curious as to how big the PCI was as we get a curveball. I think that, or no, maybe that was another circle change. 3-2 count here to Bryce Harper, and it was a 4-seamer up, and he was late like he was the entire game, man. I don't know how, like, usually you'd think after a while you'd catch up to the speed, but Nolan Ryan was just dealing for me. 1-1 count to Ben Zobrist. I don't know why he had Zobrist in his 4-hole. He swings. He was late again on that one. 2-2 count to Ben Zobrist. And we get him looking on a 12-6 outside of the zone. Edwin Encarnacion is the last batter of the game. He watches a sinker up. I mean, I was just really, really happy to shut this guy down. I had like multiple 20 strikeout games with Nolan Ryan last year. 1-2 count to Edwin Encarnacion to end the game. And we get him swinging on a 4-seamer. Borderline call, probably would have been a ball, but we get him swinging. As we can see, Nolan Ryan is our player of the game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It was something just different, not really what I usually do, but you guys can see there 20 strikeouts to 1 walk through 9 innings. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and without further ado, we will see you guys in the next one.
Get set, go, take off.